How we all doing today, Vikings fans? As you guys see by the title, I actually have a very exciting video because I think the Minnesota Vikings are almost instigating this Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packers situation. I'm sure you're thinking, how could they possibly instigate something like that? There's actually many ways they could do this, and it's absolutely incredible out of the Vikings. And I think there is a lot of reasoning behind the actions and behind the stories that have been coming out of the Vikings camp as of recently. Anyways, the Vikings, I think they're instigating with the Green Bay Packers right now. This is a very this just shows how the NFL has so many layers to it that people may not realize. And I think I'm on top of this right now, and I don't think many other people will be thinking about it in this way. But I think the Vikings are truly instigating this Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers situation. I'm going to explain that right now. Anyways, if you guys are new here, leave a like on the video, comment down below. Thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. I think I got a banger for you guys right now. I think this is an outside the box idea, but I also think it's 100% spot on. Anyways, Vikings instigating with the Green Bay Packers right now. Let's talk about it. Okay, so we all know the situation with Green Bay that is going on right now. You know, the whole situation with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to come back unless the GM is fired, and then there's been a ton of turmoil. There's been a ton of adversity. There's been just a ton of problems that have been kind of building up on this situation. Now, at first, when I was kind of thinking about the whole A-Rod situation, I didn't really want to come on here and make a video about it unless I had some other stuff to say. I want to have some other insights, some other thoughts, because, I feel like we all know what the true situation is at, baseline. It's the Green Bay Packers. They're pissing off Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, honestly, I don't agree with the man that much, but he has every right to be upset with them. Even when it's starting off with the Jordan Love situation, to the Packers cutting Jake Kumerow a day after Aaron Rodgers said that he liked Jake Kumerow. Just a respect thing, and I don't think they treat Aaron Rodgers like the franchise player that he deserves to be treated like. I mean, you look around sports, every team accommodates for the superstars, no matter what it is. It could be Garrett Cole going to the Yankees in the MLB. They were trying to get his personal catcher. You look at Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay. They get him Gronk, AB, Leonard Fournette. You look at Mahomes. Mahomes, he was talking about the protection in the Super Bowl. They go get him Orlando Brown and Joe Thuney. It's like all these teams are doing all this stuff for their franchise quarterback, and the Packers just refuse not to. And so that's why I thought it was very interesting that the Vikings came out with a story yesterday from Courtney Cronin. If you guys don't know Courtney Cronin, she's very close to the Vikings organization. She seems to always be breaking kind of these low-key stories from the Vikings organizations that are being pushed out. She's got good connections there. But she put out a story yesterday that said the Vikings were prepared to take Justin Fields at 14, and they had Kirk Cousins fully involved in that situation. Now, the part about the story that I thought was so interesting, when I was looking into it, I got the headline. I initially thought of, oh, wow, the Vikings were actually going to get Justin Fields. But then you look into the story, and you look at the kind of the writing in the story. It mentions Kirk Cousins has been here for the longest. He deserves our respect, and he's earned the chance pretty much to kind of stay in the loop. We're not going to disrespect him and blindside him by that. Kirk Cousins has earned that with the Minnesota Vikings. So Kirk Cousins has played here, 3 seasons now. He's made the playoff 1 time, and he's won 1 playoff game. And Aaron Rodgers has been with the Packers for seems like 15 years now, and he's made and won a Super Bowl, made 5 NFC championship games, but the Packers couldn't keep him in the loop about Jordan Love. See, I think that is incredibly interesting that this story broke out, because I don't think it's necessarily true that the Vikings would have taken Justin Fields at 14. I really don't. I think that story came out from Minnesota. I think somebody from the Minnesota organization came out and said, we're going to put out this story to show that we were thinking about drafting a quarterback in the 1st round, but we wanted to keep Kirk in the loop. And then it turns out they ended up drafting Kirk, his own offensive lineman, but then they also had to take a quarterback later on in the draft. But Kirk was in the loop the entire time. How funny is that report came out a day after the report that Aaron Rodgers was growing dissent from the Green Bay organization. Now, you could be sitting back, you could be saying, oh, that's just coincidence. Of course, maybe the Vikings actually were looking at a quarterback. And let's just say they were. But let's just say that they were trying to instigate this Green Bay Packers situation. You look at a year ago from around today, a year ago and a couple days ago, the Packers drafted Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers had absolutely no idea about that. He said he was just as shocked as we were. He had no insight. That was the start of the tipping point in Green Bay. Was that situation draft night a year ago? That started everything. That started the whole Aaron Rodgers news of he might not be too happy. Because we never really thought about the Packers trying to replace Aaron Rodgers before that. That was the first major thing that kind of broke this entire relationship that the Green Bay Packers had with Aaron Rodgers. So why wouldn't the Vikings put out a story saying, hey, this quarterback that not many people are that happy of, it's Kirk Cousins. People have their opinions on Kirk Cousins. Oh, but we kept them in the loop. We told him that we were planning on drafting a quarterback because he's our guy, because he's Kirk Cousins. And this is how we as the Vikings treat our quarterbacks. Even just good quarterbacks, not even franchise talented quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I think this report came out for a reason. I think it's smart because I don't think people realize in the NFL their stories come out for a reason. The 49ers, I think there's a lot of them that they were releasing a lot of that Mac Jones stuff that was coming all out of San Francisco, how much they loved Mac Jones, and I never really bought it. I mean, I always said, listen, the Shanahans and the Lynches, you got to understand, these people are too smart. They know football. Like, listen, they're not going to trade 2 first-rounders. They'll go get a guy where their ceiling is Matt Ryan. You trade 2 first-rounders and you move up in the draft like that if you think you could go get a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen type of player. And it's funny how in the NFL, how teams will release certain news articles, certain reports right after certain events. So the Vikings saw the dissent growing in Green Bay, and I'm sure they said, how can we just add a little fuel to the fire? We go in division, and you have a story coming out from Minnesota. I'm sure Aaron saw this story. I'm sure he saw this and almost laughed, where he saw that the Vikings came out and a report came out and said, hey, they were targeting Fields at 14, and also they kept Kirk Cousins in the loop with all this, and he was okay with all this. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers saw that, and a little bit of him lost his goddamn mind, because I would too. The disrespect that the Packers consistently show to Aaron is incredible. I think the Vikings actually played that so smart. A day after, you come out and say, yeah, we drafted a quarterback. We got Kellen Mond, but we were looking at Fields. But we were also keeping Kirk Cousins in the loop. He's our guy. That's how we treat our quarterbacks. Right after your division rival is about to lose their franchise guy, I think the Vikings are instigating this whole thing. I don't know if it's true that they were trying to draft Justin Fields at 14. Or were they just putting out that story to add some fuel to the fire? Listen, this is an absolutely, I think this is a thought that I think is very well true. Nobody's going to report about this and say the Vikings are instigating with the Packers. Anyways, I think they are. I think the Vikings are kind of playing, adding some fuel to the fire. Obviously, they're going to let this go probably after this. Let me know what you guys think, though. I think it's a pretty interesting thought. If you guys agree with me, let me know down below. Leave a like on the video, sub to the channel. Thank you guys so much for the support. Skol Vikes. Hopefully, Aaron does leave Green Bay, and Courtney Cronin's story did work. Anyways, see you guys later. Skol Vikes.